God Daddy's in the building, broadcasting live from many parts unknown. Joining me on the sticks, he's that bad dad of COD. You might know him as Muscle V, but we know him as Dixie.
Yo, yo.
And our associate producer and head of sales, the scariest Jew in Jewville. Boo, Radley.
Yeah.
Back in the freezer, I guess.
Back in the freezer again. And of course, our executive producer, the man that shirts have forgotten. He is the Pants Man.
Huzzah.
And you can feel free to ask me anything, for I am your king of COD, which of course will continue as we start Wrath tonight. I am Jeeves, and I welcome you to another edition of Call of Daddy 2. Tonight we wrap up Food Week with what else? Desserts. But before we get into that, Muscle V, why don't you remind us what happened on our last episode?
Last time on COD Daddies, our heroes held another drink-along episode with Pantsman as the Toastmaster General. The heroes celebrated their 25th episode by discussing pairings. The heroes attempted to guess the top 25 most popular pairings that was put together by Jeeves. This resulted in anger and profanity, as the list was very poorly made. Boo won the round with Muscle V in second, and Pantsman was in last place with a score of 0.
Yeah.
With Jeeves winning the second kill battle, the heroes move on to kill battle 3, with the scores tied as 0. Sniper still hasn't changed. Let's follow the heroes as they continue on their adventure.
Thank you, Muscle V. So, as mentioned, tonight we wrap up Food Week. How else could we do it? There's no sweeter way than dessert, of course. Before we get into that, though, I have to do a quick review. Last night, Boo, you asked us a question. You asked us where we would eat PB&J on a deserted island. And then you immediately proceeded to go with Antarctica, the country.
Everything is correct, but the fact that you guys did not correct me in the moment really makes me look like the good guy. So I think I won that one.
Well, to be fair, we were in the middle of we were doing well in the game last night, as you know, and Pantsman was hammered by that point. So what were you doing? What was your excuse?
Not paying attention to anything I was saying.
To the question you were asking to the group.
That was very late in the call. He was already functionally asleep by the time we got to that moment.
It's true. You can hear him falling asleep as he asks the question.
Well, I just had to give the fans what they want.
All right. Anyway, you did horribly. Tonight, dessert. I mean, do you guys do dessert? You guys trying to keep your model weight? Like, what's your life goals looking at right now? Do you dessert every night, 3 times a day? What's our dessert habits for the group?
I would say for me, I love a dessert. Got a genuine sweet tooth. I love all kinds of desserts. I try to resist. Like if I go out to dinner, I rarely get dessert just because I'm so full. But I do like having sweets, and I often keep awful junk food in the house. And then I tell myself, once this is gone, it's gone. I'm done buying sugary sweets. I don't need them. And then I buy more. The thing that a friend of mine turned me on to relatively recently was this idea that, and I don't know, I think it's got some basis in truth, that like a dark chocolate is pretty low in sugar and isn't actually all that bad for you. And so I've been stocking up on Aldi chocolate, and I've just got like dark chocolate.
Are you talking about dark cow, or are you talking about dark chocolate?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the difference is. What are you talking about?
Or maybe it's whole cow. I don't know. I'm pretty sure dark chocolate is it's in general healthier for you. But then, of course, they pour sugar into it to make it taste good.
I mean, I'm not pretending like this is a sugar-free option. I'm saying that rather than eating a fucking Little Debbie snack cake, I'm going to have like a small bar of dark chocolate.
I can't stand dark chocolate. I can't stand the bitter of the.
I used to hate it, but it's grown on me the more I've indulged in it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Muscle V, after last night going through the top 25 list, I assumed bitter would be exactly what you're looking for in dessert.
Oh,
It was a tough night.
No, dark, yes, brutal. Dark chocolate is okay, right? You have to come to terms with it. It's like at some point you decide you're an adult and you're just like, yeah, I guess I'll settle for this. It's not horrible.
Well, you know, it's
Uh,
interesting. I bought a milk chocolate bar from Aldi as well, and I've found that to be absolutely terrible in comparison. And I genuinely don't know if it's because my taste has evolved and now I prefer dark chocolate, or if it's just that Aldi's milk chocolate is hot garbage.
You know what that
Aldi
you
has
know
a
what
milk
that's called.
chocolate with almond one that is delicious. I don't know if you bought the wrong one.
I just got the regular milk chocolate with nothing in it.
Well, so that's your problem. Gotta get the
You
almonds
just
in it.
Pantsman, you just have a classic case of Stockholm syndrome. That's all. You've just talked yourself into, this healthier idea. But it's
Well,
definitely not a superior taste.
I'm fine with that. If I will happily accept Stockholm syndrome if the thing I'm Stockholming is slightly better for me than my go-to, which is really egregious bullshit.
Okay, you know what? That's correct. That's a good point. I guess it's shallow Hal syndrome, which is actually ideal.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What is everybody else's habits with the desserts?
This guy
Oh my
must
god, I
have
just killed a guy
some
by
cheap-
blowing his knees out.
That was my
was
kill,
awesome.
by the way.
Oh, you stole my kill by me blowing his knees out?
He was standing on top of you.
Yeah, I know.
What is happening?
We lost quickly, as always.
So I can go next.
Yeah, please.
I don't really eat a lot of dessert. I will occasionally get a chocolate bar from Aldi with almonds, obviously. Don't really
Such a
get
weird go-to.
I don't really get dessert at restaurants unless it's like one of those things like, oh, we fucked up your food, here's a free dessert, or
I'm like, that's the most you thing I've ever heard.
or if it's part of like you get like a 3-course meal. That's the only time I would ever get it. Not a fan of desserts.
It's a horrible stance. Well, how do you not like dessert? Sugar is like designed to be enjoyable to the body.
Yeah, but once you eat your meal, I just never have the urge to also eat more food.
No, I'm with you. Like I said, I at a restaurant rarely indulge in the dessert because it's usually not that good, and also at the restaurant, and I'm already full. But like, there are lots of occasions to have dessert outside of the context of a big meal at a restaurant. Like, are you saying you're anti-dessert in general, or just in that restaurant context?
In the restaurant context, if there's dessert, like depends what it is, I might have it, but mostly restaurant, I'm not eating it, and mostly at home, I'm not going to the store to buy dessert for myself.
Oh, that's so the restaurant, yeah, I think generally it's not going to be worth the expense.
Yeah.
And I love dessert. Like I will eat every dessert you put in front of me forever, and I will enjoy every one of them. But generally there's a 2-factor in restaurants. I feel like desserts not that like they just mail in the desserts because they know you're either going to buy it or you aren't anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's that extra expense you're already putting a shitload into probably drinks, food, almost always appetizers when you're out to eat. So I agree. I agree that desserts isn't worth it there. Not getting it at the grocery store is way different. That's crazy to me.
Well, here's another thing, especially in pandemic times. What is the ratio of like a bought-in dessert from a store versus like baking or like homemade desserts? I do virtually none of the actually making a dessert.
Yeah, I would have thought I would bake more in the pandemic, and we did not. That did not occur. It should have. It would have been better for the bottom line and unaffected to my waistline.
Yeah, with me, I'm pretty basic with my desserts. I'm a big like cookies and donuts guy. Love a good cookie, love a good donut.
I think a cookie's super overrated.
Oh, see, I love a good cookie.
Yeah, I think most people wouldn't agree with us in that one. I think everyone likes a donut pretty much, but
I don't know. I almost feel the opposite. I feel like a cookie, I feel like I typically want them. I'm typically into them. I only really like the soft ones, though. The kind of crunchy, crumbly cookies I'm not as into. Donuts I could take or leave. Like, I like donuts. I enjoy them every
Really?
time I have one. But even if there's like a box of free donuts at the office in the old times, like, I was as likely to grab one as not.
What?
So in the office scenario, I would always have, if they bring something in, of course I'm going to take it. It's free.
We know your stance on free things. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with your
yeah.
stance on
That's
dessert.
just the free scenario. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever passed on I don't know if I've ever passed on free food at the office, but certainly not donuts. What are you doing?
I just
What do you
well,
do,
and
what
like
do you do with your day?
so there are a few donut places near me that I will occasionally indulge in because they are like the much smaller. They're not Dunkin', right? And they're actually really good donuts. The Dunkin' Donuts thing is just they're so aggressively mediocre,
See, here's the
and
thing.
that's where a lot of them come from.
Sometimes I don't like necessarily the mom and pop donut shops because it's too cakey. Not enough like donut-y.
I hate that we have the same exact food stance. This has become shocking, but I 100% agree with you, Bill.
Well,
Yeah.
I sort of agree too in the sense that I'm not as big into a cake donut. I like more of an old-fashioned donut.
Yeah, but Krispy Kreme's kind of, I mean, assuming it's not a bad Krispy Kreme shop, it's a good donut. That's a crazy stance
It's
today.
it is so hard to judge Krispy Kremes though because of what you just said.
Yeah,
It's so hard.
there's the quality issue. I'll give you that. But if it's
Dude,
a regular if it's an average or above Krispy Kreme, that's a good donut.
This is a true story in the town that I live in. We had a Krispy Kreme's. It closed for 10 years and then just magically reopened one day.
What?
Was it the best day of your life?
It was just like everyone was just kind of confused. Like, what do you mean you're reopening? It was just an abandoned building for 10 years and nothing in between, and now it's magically a Krispy Kreme's again.
I don't know if that's reopening. I think that's just a new business, right?
I don't know. I mean, what would you characterize it as? There was nothing there for 10 years.
10 years is a very long time.
Yeah,
Is it the same ownership group?
I have no idea.
how would he know that?
You go ask. I would immediately. I would actually ask that.
Yeah,
Billy,
the
what-
18-year-old working there definitely knows the ownership over the last 10 years.
So
well,
did you guys
it's none for the 10 years. You have to
did
know
you-
2 times.
Did you guys ever go to Krispy Kreme's? You could get a free donut a day if you got vaccinated for a whole year. I literally only went twice, but you could go and get a free Krispy Kreme's for a whole year.
I
Did
made sure to go out of my way to not do that.
Yeah, I did not
Yeah.
know.
I would say with Krispy Kreme, I agree. I do like a Krispy Kreme, but I've never really been near one that was like a storefront. So the most I've really indulged in like a fresh Krispy Kreme are just their plain glazed. Like I do think they make a great simple glazed donut. I
They
haven't
do.
really experienced their flavors outside of that.
They're not great.
That is my one like hill to die on when it comes to pretty much anything, is that the glazed donut is the biggest fucking waste of time on earth. I fucking can't stand how people are into this donut. Guess what? You know it's always going to be better. Throw some chocolate on top, then glaze it over. Get
Oh,
the
see,
fuck
I
out of here
disagree.
with plain glaze.
A chocolate
Yeah, so
donut
does
has
most
its
people.
place, but I think it depends on if you're more of a chocolate person or a vanilla person.
And your vanilla is fuck, and it's a terrible stance.
I don't care. It's true.
The one thing I will say is that the glazed donut is completely covered. Oh. And the chocolate one, only the top is covered.
No, what the chocolate's covered with chocolate, and then they glaze it just like the glazed donut. It's the same thing, just with chocolate on top, just a little bit of flavor. It drives me crazy because especially in the office setting, especially, people always get 12 donuts, and they get somewhere between 4 to 6 fun ones, and then 6 glazed donuts. And then if I happen to not be there right at the time that they bring them out, guess what? I'm getting stuck with that stupid glazed donut because people pretend they like it, but they don't.
That is strange.
Flavors.
If you're in a situation where you have noticed, like if I was ordering, I can understand getting mostly glazed because they're basically the blank slate that anybody would be willing to accept. But if you notice, oh, I brought in 6 glazed and the 6 glazed were the last chosen, I would definitely reduce it to like 2 or 3 the next time.
People try to pass off the glazed donut like it's the pepperoni pizza of the donut world, and that's false. It's the cheese pizza, and no one likes a fucking cheese pizza. You settled for that. That's the blank canvas that you put toppings on.
I know I've declared myself the vanilla, but I just want to say to that for a huge chunk of my childhood, our like pizza night was a cheese pizza.
Oh my god.
Well, okay.
Deprived.
That's unacceptable, except like you have a younger brother, so you do have to clear that eventually. Like little kids do eat cheese pizza. That's just what
The,
happens.
the only thing I will say, and I agree, I'm not a big fan of cheese pizza, but I do, and this is totally changing the whole topic tonight. But sometimes with pizza, you can put too many toppings on.
No, false. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm glad we finally have a deviation.
Well,
I
before we
would-
get too far down the pizza rabbit hole, completely off topic, I just want to say let's talk about dessert pizza because that's a category of its own.
But we've already covered it a little bit. I forget why I was talking about the fuck, what's it called? The pizza lunchable
Oh,
dessert
yeah.
pizza, which was incredible. So I don't know if I've had. Are you talking about CC's? Is that what you mean?
No.
Oh,
I'm talking
pizza.
not
that
every
still a
pizza
thing?
place does it, but there are
There's
pizza
no-
places that will do like I
There's no
remember
chance,
there's
bro.
one that did like an apple, like basically like apple pie toppings on a pizza. It was so good with like
I've seen it.
caramel.
I
Yeah.
do. Again, I'm not quite sure how this became a pizza conversation, but I do remember going to
Like-
CC's many times with you guys in college, and it really was just an okay pizza buffet.
Well, yeah, that's its literal gimmick. But are you sure you're not describing the dessert pizza they have there, Pants Man? Because that is what they have.
I'm saying basically yes. The kind of dessert pizza you get at CC's is certainly what I'm talking about. It's not only CC's that does it. Is my point.
Okay. You can get a high quality version of that. You're saying?
Yes.
All right.
I very rarely indulge, but it is a thing that happens.
The brownie at CC's is better anyway. So. That's
Well,
good.
Again, are CC still open?
No, absolutely. It's the pandemic. Of course not. Buffets
Were they
were
open
prob-
before the pandemic? I couldn't
buffets were
tell you last time I went to a
problematic.
CC's.
Yeah, probably college, but they
Yeah.
actually that one near in our college town did close down pre-pandemic.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Yeah, and it's because it's mediocre pizza, of course. But
it's not even mediocre. It's flat out bad
Ah.
pizza. It's just for $10 you can have all you can eat, and you're
10,
in college.
wasn't
You're
it?
going to
I thought
go. It was like $7.
Yeah,
$7.
It was like
yeah,
$7.
Pretty cheap.
it's
Yeah.
never.
I was probably rounding
never
up
stopped
because
me
I
from
got a
smashing.
soda.
Oh my god, never stopped me from smashing 400 slices of pizza though.
Yeah,
No matter how
I
bad it
remember.
was.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Again,
And they still somehow, I bet, made a profit off of us.
Oh, I'm sure. We definitely have to keep not talking about pizza though, which we're doing a horrible job.
I tried to pivot it, and it just turned into CC's. Oh man.
That's because you described the CC's dessert. That's not your. That's your fault.
Well, we know next time we have a food week, we need one episode about pizza. For the
Clearly.
future food weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
obviously.
kind of already did that, but it was the pie episode, according to
Oh my.
one Mr.
Boo missed that episode.
Muscle B. Oh my
I did.
god.
Yeah.
That is the most infuriating episode, I think, still.
that's definitely Muscle V at his absolute worst.
Like for as bad as yesterday was with your top 25, it doesn't even register on the Richter scale compared to that.
You guys all, Jeff. First of all, if you haven't listened to our 25th episode, go back and listen to it. I make a perfect top 25 list. These guys get mad, but totally agree. So I don't know what he's saying right now.
Terrible. It's one of the worst.
We did not
desserts.
totally agree. Spaghetti and meatballs was an unequivocal failure on your part.
Yeah, and I accepted that. So relax. Hey, where's that guy? Who killed you?
Far away. Over
Oh, good.
Like
That's right next to you. You
No,
picked
no.
right next to you.
over there. I can't ping it. It's in the hut on the water.
In the hut on the water. Oh.
You can save me
get-
though. You know.
Yeah, get behind this box. Oh, we gotta go. We're gonna
Yeah.
die. At least we'll both get a -1. Okay. So dessert. Boo, I don't think you answered your stance on dessert. Is that right?
I did. I said I brought up the cookies and donuts, which led to pizza.
Oh, you're right.
It's you, Jeeves, that has not
Yeah.
really given your
Okay.
full. You've
Yeah.
jumped in, but you haven't given us your official stance.
I will eat basically anything that's labeled a dessert. I basically need to be restrained Or I will just get diabetes that night. If you just laid out like in a Pac-Man line desserts, I would just keep eating them, given my
You know,
natural instincts.
you know, what just occurred to me as a relatively new father. I feel like if you aren't already, you are probably pretty soon going to be in that phase of parenthood where your kid will have a plate of food that they don't finish. And I totally think you're going to be the one like, oh, they didn't finish their slice of cake at this birthday party, but dad's going to eat the rest.
Oh, of course. My daughter right now she's obsessed with whenever she's kind of done, she will grab food and try to shove it in me and my wife's face. And every time Lil Fuse is pissed, and every time I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is perfect.
Yeah, I'm for sure eating leftovers every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on the dessert tray. I think
I have
actually,
a disgusting story I could share, but I'm going to save it because it's not about dessert.
okay, I'm also disgusting. You guys remember when I worked for a banquet hall?
Mm-hmm.
If there was a
No.
yeah, of course, I would eat it every time. If there was the uneaten slice, or even occasionally the mostly not eaten slice. Guess what? This guy went for it every time.
Oh my God. You know what? So when I was in high school, we had this awful, awful teacher, and he would sometimes be responsible for like being the monitor of the lunchroom or whatever. And we noticed that like he would pick at like leftover food. Like if he saw somebody had like walked away from their tray and they still had like a little bit of food, he would like eat at it.
What?
So they started planting like puddings that they would like put weird shit in and watch him like eat it and like react.
As a high schooler, what'd you guys think weird shit was?
I don't remember. I'm imagining it was a lot of like spit or just like savory, like a grape thrown in that chocolate pudding or I don't know, whatever. A fry.
I mean, fry and pudding is not a problem at all.
Ugh.
And it is something. I mean, in the fast food episode, we talked about dipping fries into Frosties. It's literally the same idea.
It's the only reason I won that episode.
Which is insane. Our viewership just let us down that day. But yeah, I think that is in high school. You definitely think things are gross because you just have never tried it. And fry in the dessert would absolutely be one of those things.
But I will say that it was less about the weird combination of foods. It was more about the fucking choice to eat a teenager's leftovers. That's
psycho.
Awful.
It's borderline. It's borderline illegal. Certainly problematic. But like, you should throw sand in that guy's dessert so he would stop doing it. Not
you know how I threw sand in his dessert myself. When I had first turned 18, he ran for office. I don't remember what the office was. I don't remember. It was some low-level, like, local thing. He ran under the Constitutionalist Party, and I delighted in voting against him.
Did he win?
No, he didn't even register.
Is the hometown you're from, is that known for having a lot of people from that political party?
Did you say the Constitutionalist?
Constitutionalist Party, yeah. It's like a third party that even the third parties have never heard of.
I thought you were saying constitutional less, like he has no constitution. He's basically an anarchist.
Well, based on how he ate after the children ate, I would say he does have no constitution.
He has an excellent constitution, I would say. That's fun. Though.
That dude made money, right? He easily can go just buy himself like a lunch at the cafeteria.
I mean, he made a teacher salary, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you said made money, you meant he could afford to get a lunch. Yeah. I thought you meant like he's saving big bango bucks by eating leftovers. He's smart.
I thought that's the direction he was going into.
That is Muscle V territory, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about the freebies for him.
Well, yeah, you steal the kids' food and then you don't have to pay for it.
But I'm not eating off other people's plates.
Unless it's your kid.
Yeah, I will eat off my kid's plate and my wife's plate.
Your own kid, it's not weird. I mean,
no, you're just being a good father there, yeah. All right. Producer awards. What do you guys got for us tonight, Pants Man?
I've got a big one tonight.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
giving the Wholesome Devil Award to the
Oh.
ice cream truck for seeming to be a wholesome thing, but honestly winding up a little fucked up. So I'm sure you have fond memories of running out with excitement to enjoy a cold treat on a hot day.
I
But
still
if you
do.
think about it, it's a truck luring small children into the street. And that's creepy enough, but when you Google it at all, it gets worse. Turns
Oh
out
no.
that tune that I grew up hearing, and that maybe you grew up hearing from the Ice Cream Man, it's based on a song called Turkey in the Straw, which originated in blackface minstrel shows in the 1830s and spawned multiple, even more racist versions based on that same tune. So enjoy that Ninja Turtle ice cream with the gumball eyes, kids. It's
Great.
called racism.
I was super excited for me for someone's first ice cream truck. And you just ruined that for me, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I guess you haven't
Uh,
lived there long enough, but do you know if you guys have one that comes around your neighborhood?
we do. It's the first time that Lil Fuse has ever seen one.
Oh.
Oh, because she was born in Amish.
Yeah, she was born in the deep country. That's right. All right, Boo, what's your award?
So I went with, the award that I'm giving out is the Little Debbie Award.
Ooh.
Everyone loves a good Little Debbie. Um, and the award for the Little Debbie Award actually goes to all of us because we are all just a little redhead with ponytails.
Okay.
Is Little
Well,
Debbie a redhead?
I think
no.
so.
Well, that makes no sense. Perfect. Congrats to all of us and the ice cream man, or was it the ice cream truck? Which one
Yeah,
I
was
who
it?
called
won
it
the award?
the truck did.
Okay.
There are, I assume, many men.
There's many truck as well.
No, it's just the one truck. It's like
There's
Santa
usually
Claus.
there's one man to every truck, unless
It
it's a
turns
woman.
out the ice cream truck is like Santa Claus. It goes all the way around the world every summer day.
Wait,
I mean,
there only one? There's only one Santa Claus. I don't know much about Santa Claus, but in my mind, I thought there was like one for each region.
nope. What regions do you think that would be?
I don't know. I know nothing about Santa Claus.
Well, it's the the world is broken up into Santa Claus districts.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we're District 12.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, it's one guy. What do you mean? You've definitely heard the Santa Claus. You've not heard all of those Santa Clauses are coming to town.
Wait, how do we know it's a guy?
Because he told us. Or Jesus told us? I don't know. Somehow it's religious.
Now, I will say there's a lot
Okay.
of Santa Claus movies out there, and they're not all the same person.
No, they are.
I'm sorry. Are you suggesting that because different actors portrayal the real person that is Santa Claus,
The very
that
real person.
are you saying that that is evidence of something? What are you saying?
It is evidence.
So, I mean,
Tim the Toolman Taylor cannot be building shit and also flying over people's houses on Christmas and delivering presents.
they cover that in that movie. They handle that problem.
That's
you
maybe
have.
the one movie that does the most to justify how Santa
Yeah.
Claus works.
And how there could be multiple Santa Clauses in the movie. Like they handle that for you.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it.
Yes, you did. Also, great movie. One of the better Christmas movies.
Like, are you saying that Spider-Man isn't real just because 3 people have played him?
No spoiler alerts. No one say anything.
Again,
Let's
this is
do Sherlock Holmes. Don't do Spider-Man right now.
to all of our fans out there. This is a dessert themed episode.
Yeah, we're having a tough time staying on topic. That's interesting. Again, like I love dessert, but for some reason we do not want to talk about it tonight. All right. Well, let's just jump into our power 3. Maybe that'll get us in the dessert spirit. What do you say?
Okay.
So,
All right. So as always, I want to remind you guys that I have tasked you with coming up with the best 3 desserts. Not just a good 3. Your job is to come up with the best 3. which means if someone has one that you don't agree with, you need to tell them why they're an idiot. And tonight, I've given you the very broad, very open topic of desserts. Should be easy. Let's see. Boo, you are our acting czar, so you get to go last, actually.
Right. Okay. And just remember, as acting czar, you're not allowed to hate on any of my picks.
Not how that works.
Absolutely not a rule. We're gonna probably hate on every one of yours, knowing you. Although we are food bros, so who knows? So Pants Man, you're back in the lead.
Okay. Well, I am going to just announce up front that my absolute number one that I'm not going to be. Let me finish.
Okay.
My absolute, for reasons I've explained in a past episode, is strawberry rhubarb pie.
The amount of times this has come up at this point is insane.
This is, I think, the second time I've had to abstain from using it because I've already covered why it's important to me. I'm not going to talk about it again, but it is my genuine number one. So I'm going to give my number 3 answer, and it's, I mean, gosh, I've got this long list, and again, I've got a sweet tooth, so it's so hard to pick one thing, but I do love it. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go with the hot fudge sundae, with a hot fudge brownie sundae. Love a brownie, nice fudgy, kind of dense, chewy, chocolatey cake. You've got it nice and warm and cozy. Then you add some nice, luscious, high quality vanilla ice cream. Whatever toppings you want. I like peanuts. I like hot fudge or hot caramel. Mix that in. You've got a delightful, chocolatey, rich, creamy treat. There are very few things better.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because in general, I do agree with you, but Boo said that I'm going to quickly talk about pizza, but don't worry, we're going to go back to dessert.
Oh my God, every time pizza.
Well, because Boo said that he believes that there should only be so many toppings on a pizza. Do you feel that way as well?
What, I don't understand where this is coming from, but
this is a leading question.
I
Just answer yes or no.
I do think there is such a thing as too many toppings on a pizza.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is where I take some umbrage. First of all, nuts generally in a dessert, almost always the wrong move. I've maybe had 3 desserts in my life where it warranted having whatever walnut or peanut or cashew was in it, or pistachio. Almost never is it a good add-in. But caramel, which I am obsessed with caramel, it's just burning sugar, super great. Terrible use of it is the brownie hot fudge sundae.
Explain.
That it's the only time where the caramel is not going to show up in your taste. You're just going to completely lose it because the brownie sundae is so good, but so thick. Caramel's just absolute way. It's doing nothing for you there.
I'm not as in love with caramel as you. I like it better than a chocolate sauce on the ice cream because I've already got the chocolate brownie. And as for the nuts, I like the crunch. I think it gives a nice balance of texture that you're missing in an otherwise very kind of soft and chewy dessert.
Nah, it throws off the flow, throws off the mojo of the dish.
I will say it's 100% a classic dish, classic order. My whole thing with a hot fudge brownie sundae is it's so dependent on the brownie. If you get a crappy brownie, the whole thing's ruined.
That's fair and true.
What I would maybe agree. What's a crappy brownie though? Like how I get the one from DQ and it's great. And it's not like they're making a top quality.
Here's
brownie.
what I would say. It's one of those desserts that is classic for a reason. It's kind of hard to make it terrible. You're never going to be like, this is gross, I don't want this. It's always going to be fine. But there is like that kind of perfect version of like high quality ice cream, high quality brownie that really makes it amazing. So it can reach high heights, but it has a very, very high floor. It's never going to be shit.
I actually had a natural aversion to this dessert when I was a kid. It was the only dessert my mom would ever eat, so I assumed it was horrible.
That's fair.
And then I woke up and it was It's an incredible dish. It is weird. It's literally the only dessert I can remember her eating till I was like 18.
That's wild.
Yeah, right?
What's wrong with her?
I don't know. She's health focused or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, it wasn't because she loved the sundae. It was because she didn't eat a lot of sweets.
Yeah, she has the same, like, can just destroy sweets like I do. It's just she also has self-control, which I don't.
What's
So
that
she
mean?
does.
What's self-control?
I according to her, it's when you just choose not to eat something that's delicious.
Huh.
Yeah. She did not give that to me. I will tell you that. Muscle V, you've generally been silent on this. I know you're not a dessert boy, but like, what's your thoughts on the sundae?
So I do like a sundae. I actually had brownie as my third one. So I will change that now. But yeah, I'm all for it.
Wait, you had brownie by itself or
Just brownies. Yeah,
sundae?
brownies.
Yeah, I also had brownie by itself on the list. I
I
added
was
the
gonna
ice cream because
say,
I thought I could make it better.
I think brownie and hot fudge brownie sundae are a different experience if you want to keep it. I don't think they're the same dessert time, you know?
But is he really going to want to compare his lone brownie to my brownie with ice cream on it? Come on.
Well, I mean, it can be really good depending. What's your ideal brownie, Muscle V, before we get into your new third pick, I guess.
Obviously it's soft and delicious
That's it? It's just a soft, delicious,
brownie.
basically like, okay. So I mean, that's a mistake then, because you can put the chocolate chips in there easily makes it better. There's other moves you can do too, but
Yeah, I was debating
actually,
the chocolate chip.
I like when there's chocolate chunks in a brownie.
yeah, chocolate chunk is a great move. So kind of splitting hairs between the chip and the chunk, but fair enough.
Not the same chocolate experience.
You're correct. I mean,
I will say I like a brownie that's got, if it's not going to be smothered in ice cream and then hot fudge, I do think having some kind of a chocolatey glaze on the top is a really or a caramely glaze. Caramel glaze is also good.
Yeah,
It's something on top that's a little bit more sugary sweet than the kind of rich flavor of the brownie itself.
I'm not sure I've had a caramel glaze on top. That's interesting.
I'm specifically thinking of a box mix I bought once that just came with like a packet of caramel you could squeeze on top. It was wonderful.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we've talked to that enough. Muscle V, what is your new number 3? Or are you sticking with brownie? Which again, I think would be sufficient.
Yeah, let's just stick with brownie.
Okay. I do think your version's horrible though. Do better.
Okay.
I love that you goaded him into sticking with this choice just so you could knock it down.
We gave him plenty of opportunity to improve it, and I assume you're not planning on doing that. Is that correct?
I will throw some sort of chocolate in there with the caramel top.
So just
you're
what we
Drizzle
just
caramel.
said.
Yeah,
You've got
that sounds
zero
great.
original ideas.
Sounds great.
And
First
by
of
the
all,
way, did you even make a list? Are you just like, well, I didn't come up with anything, so I guess he picked a sundae with a brownie. I'll just do the brownie part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
chocolate
actually,
chips, caramel. That sounds good too. Throw that in too.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal everything from everybody else. That's the plan.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, we've seen Boo do that in whole episodes. It can be done. Do you actually enjoy those things, or
I
did
do.
other people just say them?
No,
Okay.
I do enjoy that.
So what were you thinking when you gave your horrible answer?
Just thinking brownies in general. Just any toppings, anything you want, but just the base is a brownie.
I just got brownie on the mind, man. Okay. Well, we've talked through, I guess, the brownie part enough. No reason to harp on it too much. Okay. So, I just looked at what I wrote down. My number 3 pick is the McDonald's Christmas pie.
Okay.
Actually, I think that they now call it the holiday pie, I believe.
Go ahead and explain what that is.
So,
Before you do, I just want to point out that you made a point to tell us before that whatever we pick, it has to be a national thing and not just some weird, specific, only you know about it thing.
this is what it's McDonald's. This is national. What do you mean?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
Never heard of
Never
this.
heard of it either.
You never had You've never had the holiday pie at McDonald's?
Never.
No.
Really? Oh my god, it's great. Uh, to describe it, so have you guys had the pies at McDonald's? They come in hot pocket form.
No.
I've
Yeah, I've
had
had the
the
apple
hot
pie.
apple
Uh,
pie.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's a piece of shit. But once a year, I think it starts in December. They pull the Xmas pie out of the, I don't know, the cupboards, wherever the fuck they keep it. And it's like imitation custard, I think is the best way I can describe it.
Ugh.
And like little dot sprinkles that I no longer exist, but I used to be the prevailing sprinkle of the 60s, I think. And you heat it up and or it comes hot if you buy it fresh. Not fresh. If you buy
None
it,
of this sounds fresh.
Yeah.
it's not fresh, but they heat it up for you, I think. It's so good. It's excellent. It's if you assuming you don't enjoy the apple pie, which you shouldn't, the Christmas pie, well worth it.
So
Highly
I
recommend.
I do like that apple pie. It's not on my list, but I do like that apple pie. And I only learned when I had McDonald's breakfast with you that it's a weird thing to order the apple pie as a breakfast item.
I
I thought it
forgot
was
that
a
they sold it
breakfast
for
item.
breakfast. Of course it is not.
I thought it was a breakfast item. For some reason, I think my dad must have like gotten one at a McDonald's at breakfast, so I just associated it as something you get at breakfast, and it's delightful. So I would. And then I went to McDonald's with you once, ordered it, and you gave me the weirdest looks. Like, what? What are you? It's breakfast. Why are you getting that of all things?
Did you get it without anything else too?
No,
Was
no,
it-
no. That was
okay.
my dessert. I had
Okay.
other things. I had a meal.
That'd have been really upsetting.
It would have.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you were in the wrong there.
So I'm
first,
gonna. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was gonna say I can't believe they even had it ready at that time, but then I forgot they don't do anything. They just pull it out of the freezer.
Put it in a microwave for 20 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your choice. I don't know what to say about it other than it's a terrible choice. I've never had it, therefore it's terrible. But even if I had it,
It's so good. You get two for $1, I think. It's great.
I've never even heard of it.
Just because you lean into being Jewish, like it's a nationally available item.
Pants Man does not lean into being Jewish. He has never heard of it.
never heard of it.
First of all, you do. I've seen you wear a yarmulke, but second, I mean, yeah, that's just because you're not inventive. I don't know. You're one of those guys that knows what he likes and doesn't deviate.
I mean, this doesn't. I'm not a snob about fast food at all. I enjoy garbage fast food. I'm having a hard time thinking about the best of desserts, like all-time best desserts. And you're gonna throw a McDonald's item at me? Like, what are you even doing here?
Yeah. Oh, wasn't sure what you guys would write down, so I wanted to make sure it was available, but also delicious. Nailed it.
Okay. Let's
All
move
right,
on to Boo.
Yeah, ratings are. What do you got for us? What's your pick?
So another impeccable pick that you can't really argue with or make comments. I went with a classic Italian dessert. I went with the cannoli.
Oh, that is a good pick.
Strong pick. It's another one that I feel like can be wonderful, can also be kind of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Describe your perfect cannoli.
I mean, it's really all. I guess it's really all about the filling at the end of the day, and it just needs to be smooth, a little bit of that Italian touch to it, and it's just delicious.
You want an Italian to touch your dessert? What do you mean?
Yeah, like,
definitely.
You know, just that, like you taste it, you're like, oh shit, that's like vintage Italian. You know that feeling.
When I asked that question, you acted like I slapped you in the face.
You did. I did.
We also know.
I'm working on my reactions for WrestleMania this weekend when I compete.
Perfect. We also know the cannoli place you're talking about. You took us to it.
I did take you. That's actually not the. There's another cannoli place I was thinking of.
Did you take us to an inferior cannoli place? I'm going to be very upset with you.
Well, you just kind of ruined my joke because I was going to say when I lived in Italy for 5 years. That's what I was thinking of. And then you ruined my joke. So thank you.
I don't think that's a joke, but okay.
Yeah, I feel good about that. Yeah, I'm not sure you know what a joke is or a cannoli.
Or cannoli.
We actually have a terrible pizza place here, like fucking garbage, but amazing chocolate dipped cannolis.
I'm a traditional guy. I like a traditional cannoli.
Yeah, I'm guessing you've never even had a chocolate dipped though.
I have. It's just
Yeah,
not the same.
I hear you
It's too
saying that,
chocolate.
but
I
what?
know how you feel about nuts, so this may not be your bag, but I like pistachioed cannoli.
Yeah, wasting my time. Absolutely. I've tried it. I've definitely given it the time of day, and yeah, those nuts don't need to be there at all. Sometimes I brush some of them off. Boo, would you do the nuts on the end of the cannoli? I know you're a
Uh,
classic man, but
That sounds
I'm
like
a
a sexual reference.
yep.
I'm a traditional guy with my cannolis. I don't need all
I
that
know,
stuff.
but would you do the like? Do you mind the nuts, or do you?
I
Would you?
I don't like nuts on the tip.
All right, Pants Man. Let's jump into your fake second best dessert of all time.
All right, I've been thinking hard. This again, so hard to choose, but I'm going to say a macaron or macaroon, depending on how you pronounce it.
You're being pretentious.
Because of the choice or because of the pronunciation?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, those things are disgusting.
Whoa!
I don't think they're disgusting. I think they're good. I think they can be very overpriced.
So I get them
They are.
confused. Which one's the Macron?
A little cookie
Okay,
one.
so I think a macaroon is that awful dry ass
Coconut.
thing.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
No.
No,
I'm talking about
no.
macaron, which is
Yeah,
like
the little
I don't
cookies.
know how the French are supposed to pronounce it, but it's that little sandwich of like
Yeah.
a
Okay.
soft cookie with a filling,
Yeah.
a flavored filling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely get those confused. Anyone surprised that Pants Man chose a sandwich?
No.
They are good though. I really do like them a lot. You can have very mediocre ones though.
And just like I said earlier, they can just be very expensive for a very little cookie.
No, they're always expensive. Apparently they're super hard to make.
Yeah, they are. I know someone that makes them.
But
Yeah, they're definitely
when you get a
expensive.
good one, they're good. When you get a good one, they are really good.
They're expensive and they are pretty easy to be mediocre, especially if they also have a very short lifespan. Like you can get them pretty fresh because they will be awful if you let them sit. But I will say that there's infinite flavor options. There's just a million different types you can get, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
and
not
while
sure
they're
not sure why
expensive-
that is, right? They're hard to make. Why is there 2,000 flavors? I don't
I
understand.
know. Well, they're so small. Like it's so easy to get a variety pack. Like it's so easy to get a bunch of flavors and just destroy them. And yeah, so to me, that's what makes them sort of special. That's what puts them on the list for me. Is that when they're good, they're so good, and they are expensive, and you don't get very much for what you're paying for, really. But it's like a little morsel of something wonderful. It's like a genuine treat, and not just a trough full of sugar.
I think though, Boo, what you were saying is I'm kind of with you though. It's really tough to be satisfied with the amount of macarons, whatever,
Macaron, yeah.
whatever they're called. It's hard to get satisfied because like I could eat 6 of them and be like, and that's it's like $50, and they're not. I'm not done. I could do it easily another 6 more.
Yeah.
I will say I went to a brunch a while back. It was like a brunch where the person wanted to cook, which I found very odd. But
That's insane.
I know, but she did. And so I was like, well, I have to bring something. I want to bring something. So I thought I'll bring dessert. I went to a local bakery, ordered a variety of like there was only like 4 of us going to this thing because it was pandemic times. And I got a variety of 12 different flavors. We were going to like I thought like, oh, everybody will get to pick which ones they like, but then everybody kind of wanted to try all of them. So between the 4 of us, we just cut each one into quarters.
No, Pants Man.
And
you knocked that off.
It was amazing. And also it genuinely, I think that dozen was like $36 or something.
What?
Oh my God.
What do you mean? You don't split them? They're tiny. What do you mean?
These were these are on the bigger side. These aren't the tiny little ones. These were like
they weren't fucking pancake sized.
No, these were like
You don't split those. That's what'd you have like of one like droplet of macaroon? I really got to figure out how to pronounce this word.
I know, I don't know how to
Macaroon.
pronounce them either.
No,
Can someone look that
macaron.
up?
Yeah, macaron.
Isn't that the French leader?
Macaron.
That too. Yeah, he's delicious as well.
You're talking about mackerel?
That's a fish.
I'm trying to think of like what to compare them to. They're bigger than a $50. Like they're big.
Oh, good. That
For a
coin that I
macaron.
use all the time.
I know,
can't even tell you the last time I saw a quarter. Forget a fucking $50.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like I would say they were like maybe like an inch and a half to 2 inches in diameter. Which are not big, but they were not like it was not impossible to cut them into quarters. It was weird to do, but honestly, I was happy because I didn't actually want to miss out on any of them.
And that I get, but like you can't split those. They're too small.
Well, and the other thing is I brought these and then we had this meal and then we went up to her roof, which was quite cool. It was a nice summer day. And
That is cool.
and it was like a lovely thing. And then we went back downstairs and we were playing a game. And I was just the whole time I'm just like, why are we gonna pound into my trees? And then I was selfish. I was like,
When are we gonna pound into them? What?
I wanted to fuck them. I was so into them. But I kind of realized if we never touch them, it'll be like, oh, we forgot about these. Oh, I guess I have to take them home. Like I was kind of looking
I would
forward
hate to
to
burden
just
you with these 12 small cookies.
honestly, I was
that
like,
should
I'm
not
gonna
be
go home and just devour these in a sitting.
Yeah, of
And
course.
then she she was like, oh, I forgot about these. What do we want to do? Do we want to pick flavors? I can split them into quarters. And we can each have all of them. And I was like, okay.
So how did you
I
guys
wanted the whole thing.
do the billing on that one? Like, who paid for it? How'd you split it?
Well, I paid for it.
Yeah,
what are you talking
he brought
about?
it to the house.
It was.
Do you think when I said I wanted to bring something to the meal she cooked for me, did you think I was going to invoice them for their quarter of a macaron?
You guys did that with the meals.
That was at a
That
restaurant.
was a meal at a restaurant. Oh my god!
I don't think he was listening.
Oh,
there's
no,
no chance.
I wasn't. No.
I hope not.
But wait, here's my thing, Pants-Man. Do you think next time since there's 4 of you would just buy 4 dozen worth of them, so everyone got their own full one, and you could spend over $100 on dessert?
I'll be honest. I'm probably not going to make that move again because it was $36 for tiny little bites. But it was special and it was wonderful, and each little tiny morsel I got was amazing.
Yeah, but again, at those prices, you just kind of assume they're amazing. You're just like, oh, this has to be good. I've spent $36 on 12. This has to be good.
No, they were that good.
All right. I mean, they can be. That is a dessert that can happen. So
again, to me, it's a special treat. Like, I agree in the sense that, like, on a regular basis, I'm probably not going to go to that well because it's so expensive. I can't really afford to be constantly getting them.
Honestly, your use of probably offends me.
Well, I told you about anyway, Dragon Gold.
Apparently, it's a very bountiful amount of Dragon Gold.
Small would have to be.
Gold. Yeah, all right. Let's move on. Muscle V, you continue to be pretty silent on the subject. If you say macaroons, I'm going to be very mad.
Macaroni. No, I'm kidding.
It's the pie episode all over again.
For my second pick, I chose the German chocolate cake.
Oh, no wonder you hate desserts. I hate the German chocolate cake.
It is so good.
Way too sweet. Way too sweet.
I love it.
I just think it's not very good.
See, do you like coconut though?
Me?
Yeah.
I love coconut. I think it's one of the worst uses of coconut.
See, I like a German chocolate. And are we really dividing? Are we really, as a group, dividing along food lines between Muscle V and Pantsman versus Jeeves and Boo? Is that what's happening?
This is getting a little weird. I will say that. Cannoli definitely is in my wheelhouse too. So maybe. Although I like the hot fudge brownie sundae much better.
And I like cannoli.
Actually, I like the macaroon too.
You just like sweets. You're not going to disagree with anything.
Honest. Well, actually, the German chocolate cake is like bottom five desserts that people
Wow.
get for me. I don't. The only one that's worse to me is the triple chocolate cake, which is always horrible.
Hmm.
I agree.
Of course.
Yeah, we're just we're,
You don't even
we're
have to say anymore. We just assume you agree. If you disagree, let us know.
we're food bros. I mean, who knew
But
this? What a
now,
delight to find out. I just
now I'm
assumed
waiting
that the
to
last
find
time we
out.
found out that we just thought we were having a great day because your roommate bought us what $1,000 of alcohol.
That was pretty awesome.
And then got kicked out of the restaurant that we thoroughly enjoyed.
So wait, I want to hear a
Yeah.
little bit more about this German chocolate. Why specifically do you like it so much that it's your number 2 pick?
Good question.
Yeah, we don't really let him talk that much, so.
He's not being too chirpy. Dessert's not his thing, to
Yeah, I'm
be
not a
fair.
big dessert guy. I like that the chocolate is melted. I like that on the.
Okay. That's a very achievable thing in most desserts, but all right,
And
whatever.
it's consistent. I like the coconut on top. I
That
like.
surprises me.
Yeah, I do like that. I like how soft it is.
Do you like
I'm gonna.
coconut in other contexts?
What?
Do you like coconut elsewhere?
Um, I don't think so.
You
Yeah, you
asked a
took a
really
long
hard
time to think
question.
about
Yeah, I was thinking.
Okay,
I was thinking like,
apparently.
like coconut water. Like I don't really like coconut water.
Coconut what?
That's
Who
Not
said
the
that?
such
same.
that's an insane go-to as your second thought for coconut. No one likes coconut water.
People actually love coconut water.
People
No.
again in the Stockholm syndrome way, yeah, sure, but not actually.
So wait, I just want to point out that I'm realizing German chocolate and brownie, like your 2 top desserts so far, are almost identical. Like they're really similar.
Andy
Oh,
went out
wait
of
till
his
my
way to
third
describe.
one.
Oh
Oh
boy,
God.
he went out of his way to describe them both as soft, which is interesting.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
chewing
like
is
a.
work for him.
No, I don't like a hard
Yeah, you like
crunch.
it soft.
Yeah.
I got you. I hear that. You really emphasize like I like a chewy dessert, sure, but like you are going out of your way to describe its softness. All right. All right, for me, let's see. Okay, this will. I'm just gonna go with creme brulee. Because
Oof.
it's a great one, obviously. But I have a specific creme brulee I only had one place ever, and I'm gonna go with that one. And I don't know why every creme brulee isn't like this.
No,
It
wait a minute, wait a minute. Did you just say that you're going to name the one creme brulee you've ever had?
no, I'm gonna go with a specific what they
Okay.
did to this
Sorry.
creme brulee, and I don't get why they don't do it everywhere. This one had a thin layer of chocolate on the bottom that you dig into, and it was so fucking good. And it seems like an
Mm.
easy move to just throw into any single one ever, but I've never had it elsewhere.
So I would like to point out now both of your selections have been things that most of us have not had. I just want to
What?
point that out.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We have
What?
not had a creme brulee with a layer of chocolate on top of it.
Well, so creme brulee is the general pick because that is a favorite.
Fair
Like
enough. Okay.
light some
Yeah.
cream on
Okay.
fire. But I'm saying if you get a chance and you see this on the menu, go for that. It was so fucking good.
Can I tell you, I was visiting Montreal with a friend of ours, and she and I were traveling together, and we went to this French restaurant, and I saw they had this deal. It was like get an entree and a dessert, or an entree and an appetizer for a fixed price. And I said, hey, what if we both do this? I'll get the appetizer, you get the dessert. We'll split the appetizer and the dessert. And she's like, that's a good idea. And then we looked at the menu and she goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at these appetizers. Nothing's speaking to me. But I'm looking at dessert and I see creme brulee. And that is speaking to me. And frankly, I don't want to share it with you. And I said, same. And we both got creme brulee and it was wonderful.
It's an appetizer?
As a dessert, neither of us there was no appetizer had. We just got a main and a dessert and called it a night, each of us.
It's interesting to discuss that in the appetizer portion, though. Like, you didn't really have to clear that with each other.
Well, no, because it was like a specific thing. It was like for a fixed price, you can get a main and an appetizer, or
Oh.
instead of an appetizer, you can get a dessert. And I thought it would be fun to split an appetizer and a dessert. And then we both agreed, no, it's better to say fuck you to the appetizer and just both of us get our own dessert.
Okay.
Because it was creme brulee.
Yeah, that's a weird deal.
He
Was
in
there any
Canada.
appetizer that was worthwhile? Like, let's say the creme
Honestly,
brulee
no.
wasn't there.
There's always an appetizer that's worthwhile. There's like 15 total appetizers.
If
There's always
they-
going to be something good.
If they didn't have creme brulee, absolutely, because we already talked about it. A restaurant dessert is rarely going to be anything special. So if it wasn't creme brulee at a French restaurant, I probably would have said, yeah, like these desserts are fine, these appetizers are fine, we'll pick one of each. But because the appetizers were, like all appetizers, they sound fine, they don't sound amazing. And the dessert was fucking creme brulee. I mean, kind of.
Creme brulee is generally the exception because even a mediocre creme brulee, it's like I'm not getting that at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a spectacle.
restaurant
It's all
dish.
yeah. It's always going to be like worst case pretty good. Sometimes it's truly incredible. Like it's just always going to be nice.
I was at my favorite place in the world, the Aldi, and they were selling a frozen creme brulee that you could. It claimed on the box.
What?
It claimed on the box. Just pop this sucker in the oven on the broiler for whatever minutes, and it'll be just a perfect creme brulee. And so I had that
The
sad.
literal antithesis of the creme brulee. Is
I had
freeze
the
frozen.
saddest pudding.
It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I saw it and I was like, there's no way this is gonna be good, but
I'm
not gonna
blaming you.
not
I'm
buy it.
I'm not blaming you for taking the runner on it.
Yeah.
It just, of course, it's not good.
Yeah, honestly,
sniper kill, team wipe, let's go.
yeah, my only knock against you for choosing creme brulee is because it's your number 2 and you're not your number 1. So you better have a real knockout for number 1.
I've got a perfect knockout.
Something from Burger King?
It'll be fine.
The Wendy's Frosty.
No, I would never. Okay. Boo, our czar. What do you got?
Yeah.
What's number 2?
So
Boo.
I brought this up in our intro discussion.
Fuck was
So I would
that?
like to, since I brought this up in our intro discussion, I felt like I should say it now because I believe it's my number 2 choice.
I'm going to point out you brought up Jack and Coke a lot last night. Didn't get it in the pairing, so you don't have to operate that way.
because I made that comment that I didn't realize drinks.
Yeah,
pairs.
you went out of your way to call out that it clearly is a pair, and then didn't use it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So the answer I'm going to go with is a chocolate chip cookie,
Ooh.
preferably at a 3-inch mark, but I'll take
What?
any chocolate chip cookies.
You measure your cookies.
Yeah, I'm
Always.
confused. I was with you till that. What do you is 3-inch a particularly good chocolate chip cookie? I don't know.
It's a good size.
Is it?
It's not a bad size.
I don't know what I usually eat. I have no idea what the normal size cookie is.
I feel like a 3-inch cookie, I'm looking at a ruler right now, it's got to be like your standard. It's not an oversized massive cookie.
No.
It's not a tiny little midget. It's just a regular size cookie.
Is that diameter, thickness, radius? What are we dealing with here?
Thickness. What the fuck are you talking about? That's a fucking layer cake if you want 3 inches.
I'm not hearing a problem, first of all. Is that diameter? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
So I have a question about your cookie choice. Describe your perfect chocolate chip cookie in terms of crunchiness or chewiness or like mouthfeel. Like I want to know, are you going for a well-baked, an under-baked, a Goldilocks bake? Like what is your cookie like?
Great.
question.
First off, it's pronounced chocolate chip.
Don't do that.
And
We're food
and
bros. Knock it off.
in-
You're making me
in
look
my-
bad.
in my chocolate chip cookie,
Quit it.
I like it to be soft bake. I like it to be a pretty easy chew. I'm not into that crunchy crap.
Can you emphasize how soft you want it to be? Like your Jewish compatriot.
I want it to be like soft, but not so.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then, and I went I went just regular sized chocolate chips. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. No chunks. I prefer chips versus chunks.
I like a chunk.
I fuck with the chunk. I mean, I'm good with the chip. Honestly, I don't think too hard about it. But the chunk is Penn Station National? I love a Penn Station.
It's pretty wide.
It's
They're,
not near me, and I get sad all the time because the college I had a Penn Station.
I will say that Penn Station chocolate chip cookie is
it's really
well
fucking
done.
good.
Really
Yeah,
good.
It is.
And it's
That's a
wrapped in
chunk.
a saran wrap in a way that you're not sure where they got it, but it's not factory made.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really want to knock your chocolate chip cookie choice just to knock it. You first of all, you made the right choice in going for a little underbaked, a little chewy. I also do not
Definitely.
like that crunchy bullshit.
I love crunchy bullshit, but I mean, soft is in this case better.
And I gotta say, like I for a very long time really looked down upon the chocolate chip cookie as some kind of cookie for the masses, some mass produced. Everybody makes it, everybody has it. It's at every event. It's just such a boring, bog standard fucking everyman's cookie. Just nothing special about it. I really want to knock it, but I gotta tell you, every time I've had one, I'm like, no, this is the best. This is what cookies should be. Like, you can't fight it. It's the pinnacle of cookie.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know why the pretentious rule was in effect last night. Apparently, you with desserts, you get bougie. Apparently, you've been super
Yes.
pretentious up and down this floor, up and down the court.
Just wait till you hear my number one pick.
Oh no! All right, it's your time is now.
Yeah.
Get
All
bougie.
right. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if you'll consider this bougie or bottom of the barrel trash, but I know you're not going to like it. My number one pick, I love that acidic flavor. Lemon is the best
oh
of
my god!
dessert flavors,
Oh my god!
and there's no better way to get your maximum lemon in a dessert than a lemon bar.
I wish you
lemon
could see
bar.
that literally pained me. Yeah, obviously that's pretentious as fuck and tastes terrible. Get the fuck out of here.
It can be so much tart. So much tart.
It's
I
never,
know, it's
like,
great.
the best lemon tart isn't good. It's like, this is a cleaning product. Why am I eating this?
I thought he
Oh.
was at least going to go lemon meringue pie or something cool.
Lemon meringue pie is good. Lemon tart is fucking trash.
Nah. It's so good. My company back in the day where we were in the office, we had a cafeteria, and it wasn't very often, but occasionally they would make as a dessert. They always had like cookies and stuff, but once in a while they'd put out a lemon bar, and
As punishment.
they were big, good size.
Oh.
They were like $3 or whatever.
They charged you?
Oh my god, it was. I was so mad one day because I was too slow and they were taken.
They sell out? What?
What?
It's the best. It's so good.
What?
I love a lemon anything, but a lemon bar is the best version of it.
Did they only put one out a day? How do they sell out?
I want to tell you.
Honest to God, I don't get the lemon tart. I think it's a fucking mockery of desserts. That and mint chocolate is just a fucking waste.
I'll agree with you on mint chocolate. Mint chocolate, I don't care for, but I love that. I love that kind of acidic tart flavor.
You don't have to be this way. You can do better. I think you have taste buds in there. I'm questioning it now, but you get. I'm pained. I'm actually pained.
Good.
I'm 10 out of 10 mad.
I knew you would be. I think this came up in a previous episode on some point. I remember you very recently
There's Pie Day.
saying
There's Pie Day.
you were very aggressively anti lemon bar, and I knew. And by the way, just to make it worse, it was a trade off because my original number one I think probably would have been the creme brulee, but
Oh, I put you into this position of
yeah, you caused
losing
this.
your mind.
This is your fault.
You could have chose well, but you had no other option in the whole dessert world.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I made myself a list of like 20 desserts today, and that was still always in the top 5.
I don't even consider it. Like, honestly, I don't consider it a dessert. I'm not even joking. I
It's
don't
sweet. What
consider
are you
it what's-
talking about? It's mostly sugar.
Literally, it's tart. Tart's the description.
Again,
It's
not a
in the
bad
name.
thing.
But there's no sugar to be had. It's just
Yes, there
lemon.
is.
These are the worst of the fruits.
Nah.
Okay, how about the other two? How do you guys feel about the lemon tart? Boo, I know you got my
Fine.
back.
It's not. It's like weird to be in your list, but
Oh, I don't even like
whatever.
that I don't even like that you gave it the fine.
I mean, I'm not gonna bash it, but I'm not gonna love
No,
it.
you can bash it. You're allowed.
Kind of the point of this entire thing is to bash.
A horrible
No.
pick, yeah. A waste of
As
everyone's time.
as the czar, I have to be neutral until I make my call.
No, you don't. No one has told you have to be neutral.
The czar
Again,
guy.
we've encouraged you over and over again. Don't be
Repeatedly.
neutral. The whole point of this is to have an opinion.
I'm just, you know me. I'm a nice guy.
You've fallen asleep, haven't you?
No, not at all. I'm just really excited to hear Muscle V's number
Yeah.
one pick.
All right, well,
Definitely.
first, what's your opinion on a lemon tart, Muscle V? And then please make a better choice.
Yeah, I'm not eating that fucking shit. Too hard for me.
Thank you.
It's too hard.
It's not,
I mean-
not soft enough.
Good joke, but
Jesus. Jesus. Do you have your wife chew your food for you? Like, what are you talking about?
oh, little mastication.
No.
Okay.
My number one pick. You don't have to chew it all. Pretty
Oh
much
my
just swallow it.
Is it going to be fun
Oh.
dip?
Oh, it's so soft.
It's super soft. You may remember it from the pie episode. It's the chocolate cream pie, of course.
Oh my god, I was so nervous he was going to say pizza.
Anyways,
It's the
Yeah,
chocolate pizza
The
pie.
only thing that's upsetting here is that you've already said this. There's no reason to rehash it, but that's your favorite dessert?
It's my
really?
favorite dessert. Yes, it is.
Jesus. You.
So it
Oh,
was the
man.
chocolate cream pie, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Again, I still don't really think this is a dessert, but okay. Or a pie.
This is a man who loves dessert so little that on a pie episode, 2 of his 3 pies were pizza.
Yeah.
And on a dessert episode, 1 of his 3 desserts was from the pie episode.
The best pie, best dessert.
That's interesting.
Disagree. Honestly, I don't even know if I've ever had one because it just seems like a waste of time.
Well, maybe I'll bring one over.
Since you've already listed, that'd be great. That would actually be great. You should do that. Since you've already listed that one, go ahead and give us what your 4th would be.
I didn't have a fourth.
I'm telling
just-
you.
Just
I
think
was-
about all your life experiences.
My fourth would
Let's
just
go with
be just lemon.
literally any dessert.
Just lemon.
Oh my god.
Just a lemon
I think you mean a squirt of lemon and a squirt of lime.
with some salt and pepper.
You're insane. No need to start another one, by the way.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I thought I would be doing. I thought my answer would be much worse, but contextually, you guys are horrible at this, so it's going to be up to Boo to have the best list, I think. So, my favorite dessert is, of course, the molten chocolate lava cake, specifically
I knew
from
it was gonna be
Domino's
this.
that comes with the weird jizzy sauce.
I somehow knew that lava cake was going to be on your list,
Yeah, but specifically the Domino's lava cake.
which you don't have to do, by the way, but you're choosing to.
It's the weird jizzy sauce, Pants Man.
It's
It's really good.
really just okay.
It's so good. They give you 2 of them. Obviously, it's better to eat it when it's still hot, but honestly, if it cools down, it's still pretty good.
yeah, not my cup of tea. Too chocolatey, too sweet, too just.
Yeah, if
Not-
too
not-
sweet's been
not
your
for
issue
me.
for some of these other ones, sure.
Yeah.
I hate that criticism. Have you had one though? They're so good.
They're
Yes.
genuinely good. I'm not going to knock the quality of them, other than it's a gimmick that I think isn't as. There are much better cakes to be had.
So I think it does if you I mean I will have a lava cake anywhere, but I think they're generally if you get one from a fancy restaurant, they're going to be a little bit of a letdown. Like it'll be good, but it's not as good. It's not significantly better than the Domino's one, which I paid, $1 for or whatever again.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess if you're going to pick such a pedestrian
You just
dessert,
picked lemon tart.
stop calling it a lemon tart. It's a lemon bar.
You said lemon. Did I wait? Didn't you call it a lemon tart?
You've never called it that.
Oh, that's what I wrote down.
I'm not really sure what the difference would be, other than I assume a lemon tart is more of like a pastry base, whereas a lemon bar is more of a kind of crumbly kind of a packed thing.
I see. Well,
Didn't make a lot of sense, but whatever.
Muscle V, have you had the molten chocolate lava cake? It's soft.
I
You
did
don't have
have
to really chew
I
that
have
hard.
had it. It is pretty good. I wouldn't say
So
it's one, but I would say it's pretty good.
do you think maybe it could have somehow made a top 4 list for you?
I was considering it before I thought of lemons.
Oh my god. Great. Um, Boo, you actually normally you're the weird one. You have a chance to really land the perfect 3 desserts. You really have this contest.
Of everybody's list so far, other than my own, obviously, I
Yours
think
is-
yours is the one I would most want to take part in.
You literally took a dump on your last pick.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with.
You know, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna interrupt real quick. I know you gotta. I'm gonna let you give your speech, but
I'm gonna let you finish.
you said I literally took a dump on my last. Not true. I was technically taking a dump when I was doing my macaron.
Thank you, Pants Man.
You're welcome.
And
Oh,
on
you
that note, I'm gonna go with Oreo cookies and cream cheesecake as my number 1.
Oh, good. Finally, we have a departure. That's good. Apparently, just our favorite desserts, we wildly differ.
That's like, I mean, it's fine, but like that should have been number 3, not number 1.
Yeah, you might have a reverse order problem.
My favorite dessert?
Cheesecake, I think it's always gonna be fine, but I think it's super overrated.
Agreed.
Oreo is a good topping to go on it, but probably not even the best. I would probably still throw like chocolate peanut butter over Oreo.
I know that this is not going to make me popular, but I will say I always lean a little bit more towards the fruity rather than the chocolatey desserts, and so I would go for that like strawberry or cherry topping on a cheesecake.
That's at least an acceptable use of fruit, unlike the stupid lemon tart. So do you like the? Are we talking the Cheesecake Factory one, or what are we working with, Bill?
I like multiple, but Cheesecake Factory is such a classic, good one. So I'll go with CC Factory.
Cheesecake Factory is nice because it's as big as your head. It's like they've lost their minds. Absolutely no reason to give me a piece of cheesecake that big. Even if I loved cheesecake.
You know what I've decided? So we've kind of alluded to it already. Not this weekend, but next weekend, we'll be visiting with you, Jeeves, in real life. And,
right.
And
first time in 2 years.
I'm going to bring a giant tray of lemon bars because I know you can't resist a sugary item, and I know you won't really like it, but it'll be there, so you'll have to eat it.
I'm not sure I'll let you in. You'll get to my door and I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know if this can happen. Yeah, that should be fun though. Minus the lemon tarts.
Oh my god, it's really bothering me that you keep calling them lemon tarts.
They're fucking terrible.
Delicious.
All right. We can probably wrap up early tonight. I don't think we need to get into listener mail. Do you have anything really good for listener mail?
I never do.
Okay. Well, much to Boo's delight, since it is the dessert episode, why don't we make a sweet, quick exit? Let's go around the horn. Pants Man, what do you have for us?
Lemon tart.
Boo, what do you have?
No rest for the Riri.
Should I have the Riri?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Muscle V, what do you have?
Chocolate cream pie.
Oh my god. Well, you guys are all useless. I want to thank you, the listener, if you've been stuck with us through a horrible round of Power 3. We all did, as always, very bad. So if you have a Power 3 desserts that you want to share with us, please hit us up on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube,
Or send it to the P.O. box so it can be burned but never read.
Instagram, maybe. TikTok? Do a TikTok. Send us a TikTok of your Power 3. We view those probably. And again, we'll check you out next week. I think we're doing a Monday episode. We're not sure yet. Might have some spring break issues, but we believe we will be going Monday, 10 o'clock sharpish. Till then,
You can't say sharpish.
sharpish, right? On the dot, maybe. Until then, we want to remind you that dessert is great. I don't know why you'd ever want it too hard. Cod Daddy's out.